Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the NBA on TNT. Today, we're discussing James Harden. Report from The Athletic came out a few hours ago that says he's still dead set on getting traded, and his preferred landing destination is the Clippers. Miles, what's your take on this?
I just don't see how that can get pulled off. If you were going to send him to the Clippers, I think they'll have to add in another team to that equation, like the Knicks maybe, and bring Julius Randle to the 76ers and Paul George to the Knicks. But it's just a whole lot of confusion that can go on because I don't see who the Sixers have to offer to the Clippers and also who the Clippers would have to offer to the 76ers.
So, Alan, if he doesn't get to the Clippers, are there any other landing destinations you can think he could go to?
I mean, if you want to call it a second spot, it would probably be the Knicks because they would have the draft capital to do it. They would have, they have R.J. Barrett. They have Julius Randle. So it's not like they're lacking in young talent. I mean, Randle's not young, but you know what I mean, to send to the 76ers. The 76ers, I want to point this out. Just because they're trading James Harden does not mean they're going into a full rebuild. They don't think they can. They think they can win with him, but he either doesn't think so or doesn't want to try that. So he wants to go to the Clippers. I think him with Kawhi would be a big fit. My only question would be, like, let's say, all right, you get the Clippers, Knicks, and Sixers in there. The biggest thing is a big three, right, in the NBA right now, because you look at what we have now. We got KD, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, and a while back we had KG, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce, the Celtics. So I don't. The trouble I see is if Philadelphia trades him to the Clippers, and if it's just the Sixers and Clippers, they're going to want a star player back. So I could see that being Paul George, or maybe or maybe a first or second round pick. I don't know, but it's going to be a lot of It's important to know too. Harden has not demanded a trade yet. He's just requested it, which means he'll probably won't sit out if push comes to shove. He probably is not going to sit out however many games he wants to play for the Sixers. We're not dealing with a Damian Lillard situation here.
That's the thing, too, about the NBA nowadays. You have kind of trades that are good for the team versus trades that the player wants. And if Harden wants to go to the Clippers, I don't know how good of a deal that is for either side. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. We're now going to take questions from our live studio audience. You right there.
Do you think so? Before this came out, it was between the Knicks and the Clippers. What would be your reaction if you went to the Knicks?
I certainly wouldn't be shocked. I still feel like the Knicks are a possibility. Obviously, the Clippers do seem a lot more likely now. I still think the Knicks is probably the smartest destination, though, for the teams themselves. You guys have any opinions on this?
I would be excited for the Knicks fan base. It would be fun to see their reaction to James Harden.
It makes the most sense to me because the Knicks have a lot of depth they can use. They can trade quickly. They can trade Mitchell Robinson. They could trade R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle. So it would make more sense why the Sixers would want to trade him to the Knicks because they are not lacking in assets. So that would make a lot of sense to me.
Number 23.
Would Norman Powell be a part of the package?
He very well could be. I think the Sixers are going to want to get as many players and/or picks as possible. I think we could see Norman Powell on the move if James Harden is to go to the Clippers. I think we could see Norman Powell on the move.
In the purple.
Well, would the Sixers really want to trade Harden to the Knicks because it's a division rival and they'll play him like 4-5 times a season, or would they rather trade him to the Clippers, which might get worse assets, but you won't play him as much in the West Coast?
I mean, that's something to consider, but I don't think that will be a big holdup for them. I don't think the fact that they will have to play him more than they have to play other teams is really something that they care that much about. I mean, obviously it stinks, but I don't think that's the big deal breaker. I think we have time for one more.
I think I heard Alan mention a better landing spot for James Harden, but Miles, do you have any picks that you think would be good for James in the future?
My best fit for James Harden right now is the 76ers, which is not, I wouldn't say it's not potentially going to happen, but that's why I would want him to stay. But if he was to get traded, I think the Clippers would be a good fit for him because he would be happy there. And we know when James Harden is playing somewhere where he's happy, he's playing really good. So if good basketball is coming from the Clippers, that's what I want to see.
All right, that was our show. Thank you so much for tuning in to NBA and TNT. Goodbye.